Okay, YouTubers, this is for Kung Fu Havoc number 2. God damn it. Anyway, we're going to continue. This is the final bonus video. This is about Felon 47, and I'm going to make this short. Look, if you support the man, you support the man. It is what it is. And he did not give two fucks about the young white lady that was killed 2 weeks ago. He didn't give two fucks. They deemed her a domestic terrorist, and I hope her family sues them for defamation. Alright? It's funny how she's declared a domestic terrorist, but Kristi Noem can shoot puppies. And PETA don't go after her, but PETA went after Native Americans for whaling way back in the late 80s, early 90s, because it was a rites of passage, and PETA said, nope, you damn Indians, y'all ain't gonna be doing no killing on these whales. But it's okay for Kristi Noem to gun down a fucking defenseless puppy. See the thing here? Killing a puppy is not a rites of passage, and most Native Americans do not kill dogs unless it's a fucking rabid Wolverine type dog where the motherfuckers just got rabies and a danger to the community. Then they can kill the dog. This puppy had nothing wrong with it, and Kristi Noem put a bullet in the back of its head. Whaling is a form of rites of passage into manhood for a few tribes over in the Washington area, in Seattle, Washington State, and Oregon. And there's another tribe, this Inuit, that's out in Alaska that also does whaling. Alright, now they eat all of the whale. They don't just kill the whale and leave the son bitch capsized in the water. No, they bring that son bitch in. It's part of the male right to become a man in certain tribes, where you're going to go out and you're going to kill a whale, and you're going to come back and you're going to be declared a grown man versus a little boy, and you're going to have that whale, and it's going to feed the village. Now, if you kill a fairly decent whale, you can feed the village for almost a fucking year. And every piece of that whale is going to be used to feed the village. It's going to get, everybody in the village is going to get some of this whale meat. You know, it's one of the things. And I know there's a tribe that was doing it in Seattle, or Washington State rather. And I know there was a tribe doing it in Oregon. Drew Barrymore made a movie about it called Whaling. She didn't make the movie, but she was in the movie when she was really young. She was basically the antagonist Karen of the movie, and it was a pretty good movie. Y'all should probably go see it. Now, in Inuit territory, they ain't got a lot to eat out there in fucking Alaska, so whaling was not just a rite of passage, it was a fucking rite of survival. So sometimes you'd have to kill an orca, sometimes you have to kill a seal, sometimes you have to kill a fucking walrus, but those are foods that the natives have been hunting for fucking centuries, because that's where they are. That's the only game they have outside of polar bear. And it's probably a hell of a lot easier to kill a fucking seal or a walrus than it is to kill an orca or a polar bear. Especially when orcas have been known to break through the fucking ice. Anyway, Felon 47 is a human piece of filth. Alright? And so is Vance, and so is Hetzef. And the Republican Party is pretty much going to be done if they don't separate from this motherfucker now. ICE is not a good group of people. There are probably some good people in the group that are just blindsided by the shit that they're doing, but they're not coming out and saying anything, so they're just as equally bad as the man that shot Miss Good 2 weeks ago. And then the fact that these things just don't keep getting undone, and ICE is snatching people out of their cars, and no one's saying any shit, and no one's doing anything to stop it. And as long as no one's doing anything to stop it, they're human pieces of filth. And finally, as we bring this video to a close, with my full motherfucking chest, fuck you, Dean Cain. And why do I say that, you may ask? See, I'm triracial. I'm part native, I'm part black, I'm part white. ICE has been after the native tribes. ICE has been after Mexicans who are also native. And ICE has finally decided to go after the black people. I'm part black, I'm part white, I'm part native. And they finally unalived a white woman. This should wake you the fuck up if you support Felon 47, that you aren't safe either. If you are white, you are not safe from ICE either. You're not. They unalived the lady who's in the alphabet community. And then Kristi Noem and Pam Blondie, dumb bitch, decided that this woman was a domestic terrorist. The only domestic terrorist group right now running in operations are the Klan, as in the KKK, the alt-right movement, the Proud Boys, and fucking Peckerwoods. But they want to deem the Black Panthers and Antifa terrorist groups. Yet, They're out shooting people and pulling people out their cars and detaining them and moving them for hours. They went after a Native American actress from Northern Exposure. They detained her for a few hours. They went after some Native kid and his niece, his aunt. They broke the glass and punched him in the face, and he had his papers and shit, and they didn't give a fuck. How long? How long are you people who support Felon 47 that aren't racist are going to just sit in the woodwork and watch this shit happen to people who look like me? This is why I said this is an open channel. If you choose to go away because I don't trust or support Felon 47, you're welcome back at any time. But don't wait for him to come after your daughter. Y'all have seen me make boobs with towels and explain, don't wait until it's your 14-year-old daughter who's being fucked by a 90-year-old because he can and because he ordered it, and there's nothing you can do when they take away your rights to your Second Amendment. Then it's too fucking late. You should have did something before it was your daughter. When it's your neighbor's daughter. When it's Mr. Wong down the street or Mr. Mamutu down the street. Even though they're not immigrants, ICE is just dragging them out their house. They got American citizenship, and he's trying to get rid of naturalized citizen. But Mr. Mabutu was born to American parents, so he automatically has American citizenship because his parents were American citizens, but moved to Africa and had him and raised him in Africa. But he came to his homeland, which would be America, because his parents moved back to Africa. Legally, he would be an American citizen, even though he was raised in Africa. Make sense? Same thing with Mr. Wong down the street. Mr. Wong is an American. His family came to America, had him. Their lives were going great. They made enough money. They moved back to China. They raised him in China, but he was an American citizen. So he wanted to come see what America was like, even though he was raised in China. He wanted to have American children. Now they're kicking in Mr. Wong's door because Felon 47 has decided that the Kung Flu Desirous and all this other shit was going to be the thing. So when are y'all going to all wake the fuck up and decide, Echo Fang Grable was right. This white dude's no good for white people, and he's no good for black people, he's no good for Asian people, he's no good for natives. And until y'all do that, we're in this fight without you. And whether you are racist or not, if you're not willing to step up, stand out, and call out this motherfucker and the shit that he does, what are you doing? And now let me roll it back around to the fuck you Dean Cain. Dean Cain is half Japanese and half white. The same thing that ICE is doing to everyone else, Dean Cain wants to join. And these are the same people who would have done the same damn thing to his grandfather and threw his bitch ass into a goddamn entrapment camp back in 1942 during World War II's start, its apex against Japan and Germany before the big man and little boy got dropped. So, what do you think that it's going to take before Felon 47 looks at y'all and decide, I'm going to fuck you over because you're white and you're poor versus being a white billionaire? Until you figure it out, that's going to be you. And for Dean Cain, you sorry son of a bitch, at some point, at some time, this will be written down. And people are going to remember that one Superman, of all Supermen, the one that was half Japanese, was one idiotic, racist son of a bitch that would have went after the same people that would have locked his grandfather up in an entrapment camp in World War II. I hope this burns in your soul, Dean Cain. I hope it burns. I hope it burns like an ending fire that never stops. You would deserve to burn in hell, and I hope your father's father, your grandfather, is looking at this shit from heaven or hell, and I hope he remembers this shit when you pass away. You are a piece of shit. And anybody who wants to join ICE, if you're a good person, then you should probably not join ICE. Or if you should join ICE, then you should be calling out the members of ICE that are doing terrorist acts to civilians who tell you, I'm an American citizen, and they go, we don't care, and pull out guns. And also, if at all possible, for every city, every state, ICE should have to demask. If you're not going to abolish them, make them take off those fucking masks and be held accountable for the bullshit they do. Especially stand by and do fucking nothing.